Jeremy Jack is the co-owner of Silent Shade Planting Company in the Mississippi Delta, a family-owned and operated farm with approximately 11,000 acres of corn, soybeans, cotton, rice, and peanuts.
My father moved here from Canada in '79. I was born a few years later, and growing up on the exact farm that we're on right now is where he moved to. And growing up here, we could sit at the house and I could watch the two pivots. I could hear their well motors, and we could get on a four-wheeler and ride around and work this land every day. And we did it all, but we had to look at it and physically work it every day by ourselves. We had almost the same amount of crew then as we do now, and we're farming almost 6 times the amount of acres or 7 times the amount of acres as we were then. And we're doing a better job with it. We're using less inputs, growing more yields.
So how do you work 6 or 7 times as much land with the same amount of people? The answer is technology.
As technology has advanced over the last 20 years and the ability to start using cloud-based software, it sped up the software that we're able to do so much more now than we could 5 years ago, just because the technology wasn't available to do it. We have wireless broadband. We not only know the production of every acre, but we know the cost of every acre. So we don't put more inputs than we need to. So it's helping us be sustainable for the next 2 or 3 generations. We're trying to lay the road map out for the next generation to farm with, because we don't want to use all their inputs up and have them have to figure something else. We want to try to keep our inputs around long term.
Planting season can get very hectic, but these computer programs record everything that goes on, so that when things slow down, Jeremy can go back and analyze each field to see what was done.
I'll give an example. We were planting 5 crops and fertilizing one also. I can say this field right here, how did we fertilize that field? What did we do to it? So I can click on that field with this program here, and that gives me, this is the as applied map. We were putting out a straight rate of 34 gallons, 28005. And it shows that there's the as applied map. So if there was a problem in the field, it would show it differently. I can click on a field that we had a prescription on. So I can look here to see if we ran a prescription on these fields, and you can see we had a lighter rate and then a heavier rate and then a lighter rate over here. So depending on the planting, we fertilize for the actual amount of seeds that we put out. So we put a variable rate planting down. Stronger parts of the field get more seeds. Strong parts of the field get more fertilizer. Weaker parts of the field get weaker seeds and weaker fertilizer. And that just follows through on every task that we do. But I can go back and double check it to make sure it was done correctly.
Jeremy also uses moisture meters and flow meters to help eliminate waste in irrigation and to study the impact that they are having on their aquifer. The technology also gives Jeremy real-time updates of tractors in the field.
He's driving 7 miles an hour. He's got almost a full tank of fuel, and he's heading east right now. I can look at the actual alerts. So this is the information on the tractor. Let's see if he's got any codes. So he needs to calibrate his TCM. But besides that, he's had a bad radio the other day. So this is all the stuff that's been going on with this tractor. And all these are blue. Here's a couple of reds. He ran low on fuel a couple of days. He left our geo fence. So we have a fence that's the perimeter of the actual operation. This tractor had to go up to get some equipment outside, so I knew it left home place. So and it actually sends me an email when he gets a red code. I can send him files. So if he was planting or fertilizing, and I wanted to send an actual file with a prescription on it, I can send it to him from here. He'd receive it, download it wirelessly.
And if you think planting season is hectic, harvest season can be much worse.
We might be harvesting 3 or 4 crops on the same day, and for one person to keep up with what trucks are going where, it's it's a zoo around here some days. So by being able to track each crop independently from an office, or Stacy marketing the crop, she can sit there and watch how much inventory we have in each set of bins, and if the market pushes one way or pushes the other direction, it allows her to sell or not sell if the market goes up or goes down.
The time that you book your crop in the market can make the difference between making a profit or taking a loss. The technology allows Jeremy to make decisions a lot quicker than he used to.
We didn't wait till the very end to see where we are. We're making sure to see where we are exactly day by day. The one program we use, Granular, we predict our yield by scouting throughout the year. So they're predicting what our crop is going to be. And as we harvest each field, it updates. So we have a running total each day. This is what we've gotten done so far, and this is what our projection is. So we said off this farm we're going to get, 225 bushels, but it only came off 200 bushels. It automatically adds the rest of the farms to that and gives us our total. So we make sure we can market fully. So when harvest is over, if the market advanced during harvest season, we can take advantage of that.
Farms are getting bigger each generation, and the days of being able to just ride around and look at everything going on is getting harder and harder to do.
We use the technology to help us analyze what's going on all these places at the same time, and it allows me to, instead of spend my day driving and looking all day, I can actually do a little work now because I can monitor what everyone's doing. They have a game plan lined up for the day, and I can go do what I need to go do instead of holding their hand for the rest of the day. I think that the crew enjoys it and everyone enjoys it a lot better.